Asada, your given name, was your mom thinking about Asada Shakur with that?
Yeah. Yes. That and the meaning behind the name as well. My parents were like almost Black Panthers.
Okay.
Like they went to a meeting but they had kids, and the way family life was set up, they weren't able to get into it. But, we were surrounded by just revolutionary thinkers. And like I said, I went to a Pan-African centered school, and, we sat at the feet and listened to Kwame Toure speak, and just different like people, Hakeem Booty, and
Yes.
so yes, very much so.
Yes.
Asada's autobiography was sitting on our bookshelf.
I had her book is amazing. I had people in my family who were in the Panthers and still to this day will answer the phone, ready for the revolution. They don't say hello. Oh. They just say, ready for the revolution.
That's all. That's it.
All
yeah.
right. All right.
Right, exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So with all of that, I know that you think about the responsibility that you have to your predecessors and your ancestors, just in your daily life. Where does that come into your music?
It's really what's going on permeates a lot of the themes of my work, through songs I've already done, songs and themes that are occurring or recurring on newer works. But I think my time and my energy is also served still through community work too. Like I'm very often called on by people in the community having fundraisers for political prisoners or just community fundraisers in general to raise money for schools or whatever. And I freely donate my time for that. But really, it's through music, it's really about maintaining a message of empowerment, maintaining this idea that despite trauma that we've experienced, despite current social oppression that we are experiencing, we have just this amazing wellspring of power. And I hate relying on this whole resilience thing because we shouldn't have to be so resilient to endure. We shouldn't have to endure through so much. But that is, a strength that, we can call on when we need it. And I just, and for me, like the whole bravado and just the bombastic part of my rhymes, when I do that, it's also, that's a form of my own empowerment. And for people who are reciting the lyrics, for them to feel like I am, regardless of all of this that I'm experiencing now in this world, I have, Mansa Musa blood running through my veins. I have, Fannie Lou Hamer and Ida B. Wells, like the strength of them to call on, to channel, to who have gone through, endured, maybe worse, definitely worse.
Definitely worse.
So, so that's all throughout, that charges through my music. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm just gonna talk shit real quick. No, it's
no. The music is definitely not that. And I mean, you've talked about, yourself, your past, some of your depth, some of your depression, some of the self-harm stuff that you've been through. Can you explain to folks who may not know, what you went through and why and how you pulled through that?
Yeah, I again, Southeast DC, early 90s, crack era. I lived 5 minutes from an area called Simple City, which had the highest murder rate for a time in DC. DC was known as murder capital. So there was a lot happening that was very traumatic to myself, as a child. But then I had family that got swept up in that whole crack thing. And it was very jarring to have this world where you're safe. We didn't have a lot of money, but, you have this safe environment, these beautiful, artistic, idealistic parents, like, who work so hard to have you strive for all of this excellence, get caught up in that world. And it was shattering. It was traumatic. It was hurtful. It made me turn inward and be very angry and confused and feel very powerless. And, that turned into this whole self-harm, cutting, all of that. And it wasn't a thing that Black girls did. So
where'd you do it?
On my arms, legs. It was kind of like this thing where people would see it and not say anything. And part of the thing was, of course, it was a cry for help, but because it was something that didn't belong, people didn't say anything about it. Like, it was like, what's that? And I crafted these lies also for what it was. But I only recently found the courage to really talk about it because I was embarrassed, again, because that wasn't something that we did.
Because some white shit.
Yeah, basically. It's some white shit. But again, it's not though. But when I wrote about it, when I had my video and I showed my scars, so many Black women reached out to me, so many types of white women, Black women, but so many Black women, surprisingly, were like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one, no one understood me when this was happening. But it's this twisted attempt to kind of regain power and also make myself feel when I didn't have the feeling anymore, when I couldn't cry about it anymore, whatever. So I recently found a way to talk about it and be forthcoming about that whole experience. And I've gotten a chance to actually reach out to some young women who, whose mothers have reached out to me like, oh my God, my daughter is doing this or whatever. So I'm able to like connect with them and share and help them through like the process and help them, channel whatever that is, channel that angst, channel that anger or whatever into, something that is not harmful. So yeah, but it's that type of thing. Like that's that Billie Holiday shit that when I did Forever, like that was the type of feeling, that was the type of emotion that I felt necessary to share because we are hurting. Like, and it's okay to say that. We don't have to be on all the time. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be unbothered. Like that whole idea of being unbothered, has become so paramount within the culture as well. And it's just like, I'm definitely bothered by the shit that's going on, And now through music, I have other ways to deal with it. And I want to make that okay. Like, I want to make it okay for us to speak about these very real, hurtful, challenging things that we go through.